So I kicked the door open. When I kicked the door open, I inched my way in, but I still had hatchet in one hand, bat in the other. So I inched my way in, and I closed the door with my foot so I could still be facing the hallway, because I don't know which direction he gonna come from, but it was completely dark in that house, like completely dark in that house. And I didn't know which direction he was gonna come from. So I'm still holding my hatchet and my bat. I closed the door with my foot, and like I turn, and as soon as I start to turn right, because I heard something by my dining room table, as soon as I started to turn right, his big ass come trucking towards me. Like, he come trucking towards me, and before I could like react or anything, but before I could think, I'm like, I hold up the hatchet in the back just like this to cover my face, and he ran slam into the back. Like his head went slam into the back, and I heard, boom. I kid you not. His head hit that back, and he fell. Like, he fell. And then he lifted his head up and was looking at me, holding his head, like holding his eyebrow right here. And I was like, oh shit. I'm like, why the fuck you trucking towards me? He was like, did you just hit me with a bat? I was like, why are you trucking towards me? Why are you trying to tackle me? And why is it dark in here? Still holding his head. You hit me with a fucking bat. I was like, no, you ran into that bat. I didn't hit you. You ran into that bat. Because ain't nobody tell you to be trucking towards me. And then I cut on the light. And when I cut on the light, he is leaking all over the floor. His eye was busted open. It was busted, slam open. And I was just like, oh shit. I was like, and I'm looking at it. He was just like, that hurt. And I'm like, sit still. And I'm pressing. I put the hatchet in the back down. And I'm like pressing it. And he was just like, you got a fucking hatchet? I'm like, look, I didn't know what you was on. I did not know what you was on. So yes, I got a hatchet. And I'm like, I'm pressing it. And I'm just like, yeah, this gonna need some stitches or something. Like, cause it was a pretty big gash, like right here. I was like, that's gonna need some stitches or something. He was like, fuck. I was like, well, I could, let me clean it up just a little bit and put some gauze on it. He was like, I just go to urgent care. So he ended up leaving and going to urgent care. And I was just like, wait, what my child? So I called him, like, wait, where's Jackson? He was like, oh, he at Quentin house. I was like, okay, because like I said, Quentin is Keisha's boyfriend, and Keisha had a son around the same age as Jackson, and they were friends. So he was at his friend's house. So he get to the urgent care. Sure enough, he had to get it glued together. They didn't want to stitch it. They just glued it together or whatever not. And he came back to the house. When he came back to the house, I was in the bed, and I was just like, you good? He was like, man, they had to glue it shut. I'm like, does it hurt? He was like, hell yeah, the shit hurt. I'm like, he said it hurt real bad. I was like, I can give you some pain pills. He looked at me. I ain't taking no more fucking pain pills from your ass. I'm like, we ain't even got no more tranquilizer. Chill. Like, I can give you some pain pills for real. He would not take pills from me after the whole tranquilizer incident, because I did end up telling him when the dust settled that the reason why he was sleeping so hard, because he was wondering why he was sleeping so hard. I let him know, like, yeah, I gave you tranquilizer instead of pain pills, and we laughed about it. So from that moment on, he did not take any more pills from me. I didn't care. Whatever. So he was just like, look, we need to talk. I was like, okay. Cop squat. He was like, can you stop being corny for 1 second? I'm like, nigga, sit down. Okay, just sit down. He sat down. He was like, look, I know things between me and you have been rocky. It's been real rocky. And I'm trying my best to be the best man that I can be for you. He's like, I know I fall short, and I know I'm getting on your nerves, but I notice a change in how you're acting. I was like, what do you mean? He was like, you don't talk to me like you used to talk to me. It's like, usually when I see you, you be so happy to see me, but it's like, you be happy to see your friends more than you happy to see me. And I was like, yeah, because you always got all these other bitches. I'm like, well, maybe you don't need my happiness if you got all these other bitches. And he looked at me. He's like, now is the time. Now is not the time for you to be funny. I was like, okay, whatever. Because I use joking as a trauma response. That's any situation, I'm going to throw a joke out there for something, because that's just how I cope. So he was just like, look, what I need us to do better. He was like, I done got my license. He said, I can see you working on your attitude, but I can also see you pulling yourself away from me. And I don't want you to pull yourself away from me, because it's like, now I'm trying to be the best dad that I can be for Jackson. I'm like, he's like, you always said that I didn't let my family know about Jackson, and that like you felt some sort of way that I was embarrassed in the beginning. He's like, but I'm not embarrassed anymore. It's like, and my family know about Jackson. And it's like, I take Jackson with me wherever I go. Like, that is my son. He's like, so I'm working on that. He's like, because I was never this family man you trying to make me be, but I'm working on that for you. He's like, but what I need you to do for me is you need to have a talk with your baby daddy. He's talking about my second son's dad, Carter's dad. He was like, you need to have a talk with your baby father, because I noticed that anytime this nigga call you and say, do something, you do it, no hesitation. It's like, you asked him if he could meet you closer to your job so that you didn't have to drive all the way across town. He said, no, he gonna meet you at this other spot. And you were just like, well, okay. Even though it didn't make sense for you to go all out of your way to meet him, you was just like, okay. I was like, because I don't be feeling like arguing. He's like, and that's the issue. Like, you have no issue with arguing with me, but you just shut the fuck up when it come to him. I'm like, you don't understand. This nigga play when it comes to my child, and you know this. He said, yeah, I do know this. And that's why I'm like, you need to start putting your foot down with him. That's the main nigga that you need to be putting your foot down with. So, little backstory that I did not say in the beginning. When me and D first started talking or whatever, now when I went public with him, my baby daddy sent him a message on Facebook from his fake page talking shit about me, saying, like, he pretended to be another female. And the only reason why I knew it was him is because what he said in the message. So he was just like, oh, that girl you with, she got 2 kids by 2 different men. I know your homeboys are looking at you funny because you walking around with another man, like with other men's kids. He was like, and I know that red baby, that red baby, his daddy take care of him, so I know he well taken care of. But that other one, like, you taking care of, you should be embarrassed. You should want to be with a real woman and not somebody with all these kids. Like, when you ready to be with a real woman, hit me up. That damn page didn't even have no real picture of a female. It was just like an avatar of a female. Well, not even avatar. Avatars don't even, I don't even think that Facebook didn't have avatar thing. It's like a sim female, whatever. And he sent me that. And that was the start of the, I'm embarrassed by your kids. And I was just like, this man, like, I had to tell him, like, he always does this. I'm like, see, this is why in the beginning I was hesitant about giving you my number, because he does stuff like this. I'm like, I dated a guy before you, like, me and him went on a couple of dates. And as soon as my baby daddy found out about him, he put the guy picture on his Instagram along with a picture of his cousin talking about, oh, the best church choir, whatever, just to show me that he knew who I had went on a date with. And then he ended up sending that guy a message about me, because the guy forwarded me the message, because he sent it from his page, his regular page. He didn't make a fake page for this one. The guy forwarded me the message, and in the message, he was just talking all types of shit about me. It's like, oh, she got 2 kids. You can do so much better. Like, what she trying to do? Live off government assistance, live off child support, just talking shit about me. The guy forwarded me the message and didn't talk to me no more. And I'm like, fuck. That's what took me so long to give D my number in the beginning, because I'm like, look, I got this psycho ex that won't let me go, that keep trying to fuck up everything that I got going on. He also, a big thing to note is when me and Jackson's dad, my ex-husband, when we separated, that's when I met him. I was 22 at the time. This man told me he was 29. We met at the gym. A couple of months later, he was 35. A couple of months later, he was 38. And when I was 6 months pregnant, which was a year and 6 months later, he told me his real age, which was 40. He was 40 with an 18-year-old daughter. She was 6 years younger than me. So I'm just like, And when I was 6 months pregnant, he sent Jackson's dad a message on Facebook talking shit about me, because he found out that Jackson's dad was upset about my pregnancy, and he was telling people I had an affair. And I'm just like, how the hell I had an affair? And I've been living with this man for a year. You've been living in a different city. You knew that I was with this man. Your son has been around. Like you knew this. I'm not having an affair. Stop telling people I'm having an affair when you won't sign the divorce papers. That was a big mess. So, but when I was 6 months pregnant, he was accepting the fact that I was having another kid, and it was around my oldest son's birthday. And we had agreed to go to the aquarium together. And when he found out that I was going to meet up with him at the aquarium for our son's birthday, he sent him that message. Oh, well, she cheated on you when y'all was married. Da, 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 da. And I'm like, none of that happened. None of that happened. And he disappeared after that. I never heard from him again after that. Even when my son was going with his mom, I still didn't hear nothing from him. I ain't heard nothing from him.